Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I know I don't show my face here much, but this video is very important to me, so let's get into it. 5 reasons why your locks are thinning and falling out. Number 1, your retwists or your styles are too tight. If your styles are too tight, if it hurts, if it feels like it's pulling too tight, it is, and it's damaging. It can break off at the scalp, which can cause permanent hair loss over time. If you're continually getting your style too tight and it's pulling hairs out of the follicle, every time those hairs get pulled out of the follicle, that follicle gets weaker and weaker, and eventually it will stop growing there. As a rule, if it hurts, it's too tight. If your retwist feels too tight, find a new loctician. If your styles are too tight, don't get styles or find a new loctician. Number 2, you scratch too wildly. You can't scratch your head from here to here to here to here without lifting your fingers, because if you do, the hair that is locked in between will break. You want to scratch your locks individually. Scratch this one if it itches, and then scratch that one. Lift your hands and move them to scratch. Don't drag your nails along the scalp without lifting. It'll create short, tiny little hairs, probably less than ½ an inch. You can't do anything with them. They just either lay there or stick up, but you can't even retwist them. You have to wait for it to grow. That causes trauma, and sometimes that hair tends to grow slow. So be careful when you're scratching. And what I want to add is that when your hair is really itchy, it's usually dirty. So either go get it retwisted, go get it shampooed and retwisted, or get a cloth and use the cloth and your finger to clean along your scalp so that you can clean it instead of just scratching it, because that's not helping. Number 3 and number 4 go together. It's basically when your locks are the wrong size, which, I'm sorry guys, sometimes it means you have to comb it out or cut it off and start over. But if your locks are too small or too big, they will always break. So when they're too big, it's because the curl is being stretched too far from the origin. Your curls have a place that they're trying to sit at. The right size curl for you, if your locks are made with the right size for your curl pattern, they will sit there and they will hardly ever move. But if I try to put a lock that's trying to sit here with a lock that's trying to sit here, the hair that's reaching this far is going to pull back. It's going to constantly snatch off and pull back, and it'll either break at the lock or it'll break at the scalp, and it's causing that same kind of trauma as if your hair was too tight, because it is. You're pulling the curl tighter than it's trying to be. If the lock is too small, the base can't support the weight once it finally locks, because it's going to still lock the size of your curl pattern. That hair tends to break when it's long, and it breaks at the lock, but it breaks and it starts to, this lock just gets skinnier and skinnier and skinnier until it starts to slide off. That's actually easy to fix, because then you could just take 2 locks, sometimes 3 locks, and put them together and make them bigger, and then they'll be strong enough. But you have to make them the size of the curl pattern or they're gonna break every time. Whether the locks are too small or too big, they always have trouble locking. So you'll know in the beginning if your locks are too big or too small, because if they're too small, they're gonna always unravel and frizz up, and if they're too big, they're gonna try to unravel and frizz up. So if you have trouble locking in the beginning, your locks are the wrong size. It shouldn't take more than 2 to 4 months for hair to lock. If it takes you a year, something is wrong. And the number 5 reason why your hair is thinning and falling out is because you don't care about your hair. Your hair grows ½ an inch to an inch every month. If you don't do anything to it while it's growing, it's gonna break off. So if you like to go 10, 12, 14 weeks between retwists, between maintenance on your locks, you're gonna experience breakage all the time. Constant breakage. You're gonna have weak spots, thin spots in your lock, and it's all because you don't care about your hair. Because if you did, you'd take care of it. You take care of everything else you care about. You take care of your mom, you take care of your kids, you take care of that raggedy box Chevy that you keep out back. So if you don't take care of your hair, it's going to fall out. And I'm left to assume that you just don't care about it, because all you have to do is see somebody every 4 to 6 weeks to get it taken care of. That's all I got for you guys today, okay? I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful, and I hope that you can learn how to take better care of your hair so that you can keep it on your head, because that is the goal here at Locc'd. Atlanta. Thanks, guys. If you like this video, like it, share, subscribe to my channel because I'll be making more. Thanks. Have a good day.